All right, so I'm going to go through the answers that we looked at today, plus everyone's. So hopefully yours is here. I changed some spellings around, so they're more correct, some grammar, so it might not be word for word. And there was somewhere I couldn't tell what you wrote, so there might be a blank or something. So again, we're going to go over the answer real quick, and then I'll tell you if I see change, causes, learnings, and evidence throughout. And you can play along at home, see if you get it right. So Rob started out as a kid who thought about every little thing that he said. Example, in where Sistine was being attacked and he thought so much on one little word. He also was kind of an introvert. He also was overwhelmed with so much things happening at once. But he met Sistine and he let his suitcase open. And he let so many things that were in the suitcase out. And how he expresses his feelings, and he is letting all the things that were in the suitcase get out. So again, there's some change there. There's some causes. And I would say you're probably using some evidence throughout. But I don't see anything about the learning. In the story, Rob changes when he finds the tiger and Sistine because Sistine reminded him of his mom, and he remembers what his mother told him. And the tiger because he gets really good changes, because he had never get up to say something, he got up and helped Sistine. And he let someone know about his mom, like his mom's name, his mom died, and more. So again, some change, I guess. A little bit. I'd like to see it a little bit more specific about the change. Nothing about learning, and I guess we can infer that it was Sistine, but again, be a little bit more specific. Rob has changed a lot during the book. For example, he's gotten courage. For example, at the beginning of the book, he's being bullied and did nothing about it, but later on he saw that Sistine was being bullied, and he spoke out for her. He said, "Stop." I think this might happen either because he felt a lot of confidence from his note that said he was never coming back to school again, or he maybe knows how Sistine feels because, like him, she only lives with one of her parents. So I think Rob might not want Sistine to be bullied or feel bad. Another example of this is when Sistine started to cry. He wasn't like, "Why are you crying?" Instead, he rubbed her back and told her, "I'm with you." So definitely have two pieces of evidence. One from the beginning of the book, one from where we were. You talk about how he's gotten courage. So I see those things, but I don't see anything about learning. I think Rob changes in the story by saying things he would never talk about. So you talk about a change, but you're not talking about a cause or anything he learned, and you're not giving evidence throughout the story. Rob is changing because he never talked about some stuff, but when Rob is with Sistine, all the words and thoughts come out because Rob told Sistine about his mom, the tiger, and the keys. So you definitely have a change. You don't really talk about a cause. We can infer it's Sistine, but again, be more specific. Say this is what caused this change. And again, nothing about learning. And while him talking about the mom and the tiger and the keys were throughout the book, I don't think you've supplied enough evidence from throughout the book. Rob changes by opening his imaginary suitcase. I think it happened because he got to meet Sistine, and his words just fell out, and Willie Mae told him about the sorrow of his legs. And Rob thought about Caroline, Rob's mom. Another change I saw was that Rob was feeling comfortable and made a friend in Sistine. So we definitely have some characters that you think affect Rob. Again, I'd be a little bit more specific. You're definitely talking about him opening up his suitcase. Again, we're missing things about learning, and I think we probably need a little bit more evidence from throughout the book. Rob changed in the way he now tells secrets. I think he changed because he now has a friend and feels confident to tell them. I also think he's more confident. When he stood up for Sistine, he started being more confident. So you definitely talk about how he changes, that he's telling secrets, and you think you know why. You show one cause. We could have multiple causes. The more causes, the merrier. And again, we're missing things about what is he learning about life. And I would also say your evidence is not throughout the book, so it doesn't do that. In the beginning, Rob was I probably should say shy. He wouldn't talk until he saw the tiger. After seeing the tiger, Rob became more confident. So you're definitely saying that Rob is changing, and it's because of the tiger. So you have one cause. We're looking for multiple causes. And again, we're not showing evidence from throughout the book, so multiple parts of the book. And we're not talking about what Rob is learning. A way Rob has changed from the beginning is that he used to be shy and sad, but when he met Sistine, he changes because he tells everything to her and he trusts in her. For example, the suitcase that he doesn't open for anyone, he opens it for Sistine. So we definitely see Sistine is causing these changes. You're specific about the change. Again, I think there could be more causes than just Sistine, and nothing about learning, and probably a little bit more evidence from throughout the book. At the beginning, Rob wasn't the kind of person that would stand up for himself or talk to the other kids. But when Sistine came to town, he started to open up his suitcase, and he even told her about his mom. Rob now would rather talk to Sistine than just be alone, and now his attitude is similar to his mom. Willie Mae is another reason that he is changing, because what she tells him is things that make him think. Now the tiger, Sistine, and Willie Mae are the reasons that caused Rob to change. Now Rob is more open, is a more open kid. At least he can talk deeply with two people. So you've definitely shown some change in Rob. You've talked about multiple causes. And I would say you've probably were able to talk about different areas of the book. The one piece you're lacking is, what did Rob learn? Or what is he learning? At the beginning, Rob was silent and shy because his mom died, and his dad had slapped him during his mom's funeral, and he was being bullied. Right now in the story, Rob is different. He's more open, and that might be because he has the tiger, and he has never had that, and because he has Sistine. And in the book, they say that with her, all the words fall out, and it opens the suitcase. I think Rob is learning that he can let things be open, and know he has more power because he has a friend. Well, you definitely talk about changes. You talk about how he was at the beginning, specifics. You talk about how he's different, and you think it was because of the tiger and because of Sistine. And you definitely talk about what you think Rob is learning. I think I would challenge you to put more evidence in from the book, but this is pretty close to being exactly what we're looking for. Congratulations. At the beginning, Rob was with no energy. Now he has lots of energy. Before he did not talk, now he does. He at first wanted to save the tiger with Sistine, but now he does not. I think he does not because now it would be his fault if something happens to the tiger. He would be in big trouble. I think that's because now he has a friend, a real good friend. He now is going to go to school, and before, not because Willie Mae told him the story of her, so he reflect on it, and because Sistine supported him with his problems, and they were really good friends, so they would support each other. Okay, so you talk about energy. I'd be curious as to what you mean by that. Like, he does more stuff now? That's what energy means to me. He's actually not going back to school yet, so that seems to be a kind of a little confusion for you on that part. And you do say what one of the causes is. And you kind of talk about Willie Mae and him reflecting, but that had to do with the going to school. So I think I'd have some questions about this answer, and I'd need you to explain kind of what you were thinking about to help me understand that. And I don't think you talked about his learning at all. Rob is being more friendly with Sistine. An example is when he went to make Sistine stop crying. Another one is when he let her borrow his clothes. So you're definitely saying that Rob is more friendly now. And you show that with two examples. You don't really talk about the cause of him being more friendly, and you're not talking about what he's learning. So I would definitely think about that and how you could incorporate that into your answer. First, he was being silent, not letting his suitcase open. He didn't like to talk. He didn't say anything to anyone. Then he started having self-confidence and defended Sistine. That made him even more self-confident. He started opening his suitcase little by little, starting by saying names like Tiger, Keys, Cancer, Caroline. Doing that made him be happier and more self-confident. In every part of the book, Rob changes a little in many different ways. So you definitely have him changing. You don't really talk about what you think the cause is. So you have this really good evidence about him changing, but nothing about causes. So what do you think is causing him to change, and what is he learning? Rob was a lonely boy, and he was being bullied. He also had problems expressing his feelings. When he started talking with Sistine, he started to express his feelings, and now he's able to have a friend. Sistine was a little bossy. Okay, yeah, I am inferring that you think Sistine caused this, but you would need to be specific. And again, we're not saying anything about learning, and you would need to have evidence from parts of the book, like specific evidence, to support your answer. I think Rob is changing inside because in the beginning he was bored and he was bullied. Now he is more confident. I think that's because he met Sistine and Willie Mae, The tiger's helping him too. He's also nice and in love with Sistine. I say that because he is with her a lot and everything reminds him of her. She is nice to him. Another piece of evidence that he is in love with her is that he lets the words fall out of the suitcase when he is with her. Okay, you're definitely talking about changes. You're talking about what you think caused them, more than one cause. And I would say the one thing you're lacking is evidence and what he's learning about life. And I would challenge you about if he's actually in love with her or just loves her as a friend, but we can talk about that. I think that at the beginning he was falling in love. The evidence is that when he was trying to defend Sistine, the way Rob changed is because his mom is dead, and he's being very rude with Sistine because she likes the tiger. Okay, so you're saying he changed because his mom is dead. So you have that change. So you see that Rob stood up for Sistine and then changed because his mom died and now she's rude. You talk about changes and you talk about causes. However, your evidence is incorrect and your thoughts are incorrect there too. Rob's mom died before the book even started, before he met Sistine. So we would need to see a different kind of cause or a different thing that would cause that change. And you didn't talk about learnings or have much evidence to support your thinking. At the beginning, Rob was very shy. He didn't talk to almost anyone. But when Rob and Sistine went to free the tiger, he started talking more with Sistine. At the beginning, he didn't talk much with Sistine. So you definitely see this beginning, this change. So you definitely label the change. You don't talk about causes. You're not talking about what he learns, and you're not supplying evidence. So those are definitely things to start thinking about. Rob changed throughout the book to talk out loud in front of everybody. My evidence is he will be so shy and don't talk so much in the class with classmates and in front of the class. What he is learning about life, he is learning to make good choices in life with friends and other people in his life, like his dad. Okay, so you talk about how he's changing, and you talk about something he's learning. I would challenge you to make sure you're supporting your thoughts with evidence from the book, because I don't really see evidence from the book, and you're not talking about causes. At the beginning of the story, he didn't have much friends, and he was very solitary, but then he got Sistine and then got a friend. The first time he saw the tiger, he wanted to free the tiger, and now he wants to keep it. You definitely show some changes. You're not really talking about causes. You haven't talked about learnings, and I think you need more evidence. Robe, that's a different word. Rob has changed because first he only shrugged to talk, and now he talks to Sistine about the tiger. And now Rob has changed because he has blank out blank from his suitcase. I couldn't read those words, so I apologize that there's blanks there. But you're talking about a change. And then I think you talk about two changes, but I don't see any causes or anything he's learning. And again, I couldn't read what you wrote there. And then one last time, this is my entry. This is my example of what I think would be an answer that has all the things we're looking for. So again, it says, in the beginning of the story, Rob was really guarded. He didn't react much and didn't talk about things. Now he is starting to open up and let things out of his suitcase. I think the main reasons that he is changing are finding the tiger, getting to know Sistine better, and having Willie Mae in his life. Actually, I misspelled Willie Mae. So the why. When Rob found the tiger, it gave him more confidence. With Sistine, he is learning that he can trust someone. He's told her about the tiger and his mom and the keys. Willie Mae gives him advice on how to deal with his sadness and about letting things go. I think Rob is learning that he needs people in his life so that he can be happier. So again, I talk about how he's changed, what I think those causes are, those multiple causes, what he's learning about life, and I'm sure to talk about different parts of the book. Well, if you have any questions, please let me know. And remember, the post-assessment is on this Thursday. Okay? See ya.